everyone, welcome to DIY with Nancy. Today I'm going to share with you my recipe for my Kaiser Rolls. Yes, that's right, a lot of you have requested this recipe since I posted my bifana recipe a few weeks back. I had so many DMs through Instagram, some Facebook messages, emails asking me if I'm going to show you how to make my Kaiser roll recipe. Now, these Kaiser rolls are very, very easy to make. It's a smaller recipe. The bread in itself is nice and crunchy and crispy on the outside, soft on the inside, and super easy to make. So stay with me and let's get to making these Kaiser rolls step by step.
Here are the ingredients you'll need to make this recipe. Here I have 4 cups of all-purpose flour. You'll also need 2 additional tablespoons of all-purpose flour for dusting the dough as well as the baking tray, 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, 1 tablespoon of active dry yeast, and 2 cups of lukewarm water. These ingredients will be listed in the description box down below.
Let's get started with the first step. In a large bowl, I'm going to place the flour and the salt, mix it together. I'm going to use a spoon here just to combine it, just like that. Then I'm going to add the yeast and the water. Now, I know my yeast is active and it's good because I use this yeast all the time to make bread, and I just recently bought it. But if you're not sure, what you can do is place your yeast in the water and then wait until you start seeing bubbles form. That way you know it's active, and then you can add it to your flour and salt mixture. But I'm going to add everything in one bowl. So I'm gonna add the yeast. I'm gonna stir it in as well. And I'm going to add the water. Now I'm just going to use a spoon to start combining all of the flour mixture into the water in the center here. Just gonna combine it with the spoon, and then eventually I'm gonna use my hands. So I just want the dough to form. This is gonna be a sticky dough. You can add a little bit more water, a little bit at a time until the dough forms. But at this point, I can see that the dough has come together. I'm just going to use my hands to bring it together completely until I don't see any more flour. So I'm going to continue doing that. The dough has come together. I don't want to over knead this. I just want to bring it together until I don't see any more flour. The dough is very sticky in itself. That's exactly what you want for this dough. We're pretty much done here. And you can see my hands are quite sticky, but I want you to see the texture of the dough. It's sticky and it's ready to rise. So I'm going to just simply give my hands a quick wash, and then I'll show you the next step. All right, now we're ready to let the dough rise. And what I'm going to do is cover the bowl with some plastic wrap. Like that. We're going to make sure that the bowl is completely covered and sealed, so you can keep the warmth of the dough rising in the bowl. And once you have it completely covered, you're going to set it aside and let it rise until it doubles in size. So I'm going to let it rise and show you the next step. Okay, everyone. Here is my dough, has more than double in size. It took about an hour and a half for the dough to rise. Now it's nice and airy. I'm ready to form the Kaisers. Here I have a baking tray with some parchment paper, and I'm also going to use some all-purpose flour. And I'm gonna just dust a little onto the parchment paper. And what I'm going to do here is, I want you to see this. So the flour, I'm just going to use it on my hands because the dough is really sticky. And what I'm going to do is just take, and I'm not measuring this. Now I'm going to take a piece of the dough, just like that, grab it, and just pinch it
and I'm just going to form it into a ball, just like that. You want to make sure you have enough flour in your hands so the dough doesn't stick to your hands. And then you're going to just place it onto the baking tray just like that. It's going to have that rustic look. It's not going to be a perfect Kaiser. It's not going to be round and perfect. Like I said, I like to have that rustic looking Kaiser. So I'm going to, again, pinch. Just take a piece, pinch it, make sure there's enough flour in your hands. And I'm just simply forming it into a ball. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just like that. And I'm going to continue forming the Kaisers, placing them onto the baking tray, and then I'll show you the next step. I have 8 Kaisers formed on my baking tray, and now I'm going to give my hands a rinse, and I'll show you the next step. Here are my Kaiser rolls. I've formed the Kaiser rolls. What I'm going to do at this point, I'm going to cover the rolls with a tea towel, let it rise for another 30 minutes, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, it's time to remove the tea towel. The dough's been rising for about 30 minutes. You can see how they really have puffed out. And now I have my oven preheated to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm simply going to dust, again, a little bit of the all-purpose flour onto the Kaisers. Just like this. Just doesn't have to be excessive, just a little bit dusting. I'm going to score the Kaiser rolls, and I have a scoring tool here that you can buy at on Amazon online. Under $10 you can get the scoring tool with, I think it comes with 5 blades. Very inexpensive. And if you don't have one of these, that's okay. You can use a knife or you can use a scissor, whatever you want to use to score your Kaiser rolls. So I'm going to simply just right on the top, however you want to do it. I just simply just do a score right on the top. All right, everyone, ready to place my Kaiser rolls in the oven. Before I do, I want to explain what I do before I place them in the oven. I have here just a tray, which I'm going to be placing boiling hot water. It's boiling water right into the tray. I have the water bath tray ready. It's going to go in the bottom rack of the oven, and I'm going to place the rack of the Kaisers on the rack right above that. And what it's going to do is the steam is going to create a nice crispy topping on the Kaiser roll, and then the steam is also going to escape from inside the Kaiser roll, and it's going to make it really nice and soft. Okay, let's get the Kaiser rolls in the oven. I'm going to bake them at 425 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes. Then I'll show you what they look like when they come out of the oven. And here are my Kaiser rolls out of the oven. These are just delicious Kaiser rolls, easy to make, and clearly they're really hot right now, but nice and crispy on the top, soft on the inside. I'm gonna let them cool slightly, then I'm gonna break into one and show you what it looks like inside. Here are my Kaiser rolls, and all there's left to do is to show you what they look like inside and how, look at that. They're crispy on the outside and soft on the inside. Overall, perfect Kaiser to make for a sandwich. I use them in making them some pork cutlet sandwiches, Portuguese pork cutlet sandwiches a few weeks back. But I'm gonna use it for some nice butter. They're still warm.
I'm gonna slice into it. Let me move this aside here. We call it in Portuguese pão com manteiga, but I want you to see how soft this bread is. It's nice and soft on the inside with some butter, cheese, any cold cuts. I love these buns any which way, with anything really. The finish just were melt in your mouth, really. So delicious. I'm gonna cut this in half. Look at that. Easy. They smell so good. A little bit of butter in a Kaiser goes a long way. Delicious. And I hope you give this recipe a try. All right, everyone. That's my recipe for my Kaiser rolls. Step-by-step recipe. I think I got more flour on me than I did on the bread. Look, it's simple to make. I made these for my bifanish a few weeks back. You can have these for breakfast, a nice cold cut sandwich, anything really. These Kaisers are so simple to make, and I hope you enjoyed the recipe. I hope I inspired you to make your homemade Kaisers at home, and overall, I hope you enjoyed the recipe. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, thanks so much for watching, everyone.